Welcome to Humble Narcissist Podcast episode.
Back. No idea.
I think it's 15 now. We've really been rocking and rolling on this, I think.
Hopefully.
So, what have you been up to lately?
Just work. I live an exciting life. I started playing Grand Blue. That was fun.
I really like that game. So that is a JRPG that's kind of like a hack and slash that you run around. You play Gran, aka the captain. You get your crew.
Based off of an anime.
Based off of the anime, yes.
I swear they had an English dub and now it's like wiped off of the face of the earth. Because I tried to find it.
Well, I like to play that in my spare time when I'm not playing 11. Mm-hmm. I just beat the story of it, so now I have all the in-game stuff to do, which is very exciting.
Yep, I'm trying to beat it before next week.
Before Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out.
Exactly, because once 7 comes out, that's all I'm playing.
I'm still not sure if I'm going to get that on time. I got the email saying that it was shipped, but then the tracking just shows that the label was created.
I hope you get it on time, but at least you won't be able to see me playing it if you don't.
That's true. It is so obnoxious, though, because when you pre-order something, the whole point is to get it on release day.
Well, yeah.
So the fact that they can never get it to me on release day just makes me feel like I should just stick with the digital downloads.
See, that's why I go to GameStop. They're pretty reliable.
Well, that's because you go and pick it up.
Yeah, and then sometimes they even do early releases.
I don't want to leave the house.
Well, that's not my fault.
Nobody wants to leave the house anymore, Dylan.
Maybe that's why you smell bad.
Well, it might be. I do take a shower every other day at least. If not every day, thank you.
Only on major holidays.
Shut up. The next holiday that we have coming up is going to be St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, is that going to be before Easter? It is going to be before Easter.
Isn't it before Easter?
Oh, no.
I was in the grocery store and they had all of the green themed
St. Patrick's Day is in March, but Easter falls in March sometimes. I don't know.
Easter's in April, ain't it?
It falls in March sometimes.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
You'd have to look that up because I don't think that's true.
I'm pretty positive.
Well, coming from somebody that's not religious at all, I don't really trust you.
It ain't that deep.
So
I'm religious about my chocolate.
I see that.
As you can tell.
My favorite Easter candy. Ooh, we should do an episode with like Easter candies and trying them.
Yeah.
My favorite Easter candy is always the Reese's eggs. Those are my favorite. That would
get like the feeder views. Us sitting there eating.
Oh yeah. So let me tell you what has been happening in my household. My husband just got back from his trip. He went skiing. He learned that he is not a very good snowboarder. Also learned that he doesn't really like talking about his feelings. But he is okay at skiing. He said that he felt bad because he accidentally ran into one girl on the mountain because she saw him coming and then stopped.
That, my friend, is natural selection.
So that she could take a picture on her phone.
That's, again, natural selection.
I agree.
Only the strongest survive.
I told him, I go, don't feel bad about that. That's just her being stupid.
Exactly.
You see someone coming and you think that's the time to take a picture?
No,
but I mean, look at what happened to Gwyneth Paltrow. She had that big old lawsuit where he tried to claim that she did all this damage.
It was hilarious.
And she countersued him for $1. That should...
And then she whispered into his ear after she won.
I wish you well, or something like that. I just have to say that I feel like if somebody countersues you for $1, that right there should be your indicator that you're in the wrong.
You know, I'm still waiting for that miniseries made by Ryan Murphy. Because you know that will happen.
Feud.
Yes.
Gwyneth versus whatever his name was.
And she can even play herself.
She could. She was on that, there's a documentary about it already.
Oh, really?
On Max, where you could see the whole story. And then you can also see the Johnny Depp Amber Heard stuff on Netflix. Some of that stuff is very entertaining, but I digress. So my husband gets home, and then the next day, I come downstairs and he is upset because there are little droplets of blood. And he thinks that our Pyrenees buddy, who is male, might be bleeding. So he started freaking out, and then he proceeds to tell me, you need to check Buddy, make sure Buddy's okay. So I look at him and I go, I'm pretty sure that it's Freya, which is our 14-month Tibetan Mastiff female. And he goes, why would she be bleeding? So I go, well, honey, there comes a time in every girl's life where she gets a wonderful visitor from her Aunt Flo. And he goes, shut up. I already know about periods, Stephen. So I was like, well, come on.
Clearly he didn't.
Right? So he can't deal with that because now we have reusable diapers that we are putting on her for now. We are getting her spayed. She is my sweet baby, so she's not allowed to sleep in bed with me for the time being. So that's very upsetting. So that's partly why I'm okay with the diapers, because if she gets the diapers, she can sleep in the bed with me at night. My only problem is she does not like when I put the diaper on her.
Is she gonna have her fur like shaved in certain places
For the
spay?
I don't know. I'm
think
already freaking out because she's my baby, and I've read all the wrong stuff on the internet, as one does, where they're like, if you use anesthesia on a big dog, there's a good chance they're not coming back. So I'm freaking out because I'm like, that's my baby.
Like that person who goes on WebMD trying to figure out what's wrong with them.
That's why I don't do that for myself. My sister does that, I'm pretty sure, but I do not, because I'm always like, if I'm really sick, I'm just going to go to the doctor and figure out what's wrong, because I don't want to diagnose it. But I was stupid enough to look up this stuff about my dog, so now I'm freaking
See,
out.
I just let Jesus take the wheel. If I die, I die.
I was going to say, not with my baby. Like, he can take the wheel with me, but not my sweet little Freya. Freya is my dog.
I think Freya will be fine.
I know. She made me mad the other day because I looked over and saw her laying on the couch right next to Corey instead of laying beside me like she usually does.
Yeah.
So I just kept looking at her going, you're my dog. Why are you laying with him? He doesn't even like you.
You know, that's why animals do that. They gravitate to whoever doesn't like them more.
That's true.
Because they know that they don't like them.
But she does follow me through the house because I'm her mommy and she's my baby. And I don't want kids, but I do want a lot of animals. Let's move to our topic of the day. We're going to talk about
irrational fears.
This, when you suggested it, I immediately thought that's a great one, because everybody has some irrational fears. So I'm going to start this out with a very millennial irrational fear. I am petrified whenever I'm driving to be right behind one of those semis carrying the logs.
Oh my God,
the metal pipes.
Anyone who watched Final Destination is scared of that.
That is one of my biggest fears now. Whenever we are driving and Corey sits there and he sees
the log truck.
Yeah, he's like, I will get around them. So he flies around them or tries, because,
or even like the pipe trucks that has like the
and I don't like any of it. All because of Final Destination.
You know that's a good movie if it has people like messed up over that.
Messed up for life.
I know.
Like, I saw that when I was like a teen, and it still gets me. I had to think about that. Like, when did that movie come out? But also,
long time ago.
The very first one was where it was the plane.
Yeah.
But like, planes don't bother me because I always tell myself, if I'm gonna die on a plane, I'm gonna die. But those freaking logs and the pipes, they freak me out.
Right.
I can't deal with it. Final Destination 2 also scarred me so that I have a fear of sunroofs. Because I don't know if you remember that scene.
Yes.
When the semi turns over and everything goes flying, you see that girl and half her body's like out of the sunroof as the car's tumbling. So I don't like sunroofs, so Corey's not allowed to open his when I am in his vehicle. I make sure that my vehicles don't have them.
See, I don't mind my sunroof. I like it when it rains, and because I have it open.
So that you could like hear the rain?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't think that you have it
No, I don't have it open, just like so it's not.
So that you can see it and hear it. I can't do sunroofs because of that movie. I hate them. I don't even like it when he opens it so that you can just see the glass. That is another one of my irrational fears.
See, I have one of those, like, when I'm driving and then I feel like someone's following me.
Oh.
Because they turn the same way I do. They go the same streets, and it feels like they're following you. Then you finally just turn, and then they keep going. So that kind of weirds me out.
I see why that weirds you out, because it weirds me out sometimes too when I feel like somebody is following me because they take all the same turns as you.
Yes.
Like sometimes when that happens and I turn into my housing edition, if I see that they turn in as well, I will do a full circle.
Right, me too.
And then go to my house once I know that they're no longer following me. So I definitely understand that irrational fear. Is there another irrational fear that you have?
I mean, height.
Heights?
Height. I can't do heights.
Heights is a weird one for me because I don't like heights when like looking down or anything like that. But like when I'm on a plane, I'm okay with the window seat. Like I can look out the window and be fine. But like let's say like if you're on a bridge or something and you look over, I can't do that.
Like my fear of heights is like on ladders or anything where you can tell that you could fall off. It's not stable. Planes don't bother me. Elevators don't bother me.
Elevators bother me. I think that's more so claustrophobia though.
I can see it.
I don't like being
in close quarters. Yeah.
Because, I mean, I spent most of my life in a closet, so I don't want to have to be stuck in an elevator.
Were you really in the closet, though? You are very flamboyant.
I was very flamboyant, but my dad didn't know that I was gay, but he knew that my brother was, so that was a big old self-esteem booster for your friend Stephen.
I don't understand. Well, your dad was also, like, part deaf, so he couldn't hear you talk very well.
He probably thought that I was my mother talking half the time.
Probably.
Because growing up, side note, a lot of times people would call the house and they would think that I was my mom. The only person that could always tell us apart was my grandma Fisher. She would call and she'd be like, "Hi, Stephen, let me talk to your mom." And everybody else would be like, "Is this Mrs. Brown?" And I'm like, "No, it's not Mrs. Brown. This is her son." Shut up. I've always had a lady voice. I can't help it. It's just genetics. Things happen.
Stuff doesn't drop.
You're such a dick, Dylan. Back to irrational fears. I remember one that I developed because of heights was is it the escalators where they go up?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I don't like escalators, and you would think that would also have something to do with Final Destination, but it doesn't.
They had a scene in like one of the later ones.
I know, that's why it didn't freak me out, but like there's a mall here in Indianapolis, which is Circle Center, where you go up the escalators and you can see down.
Exactly.
And it freaked me out.
That would mess with me.
Do you want to talk about messing with people? Because we would be on that escalator, and this is how I developed my fear for escalators, because Dylan would be standing behind me, shaking the rails as I'm standing there trying not to freak out. So ever since then, I have always had a fear of doing escalators, so I don't like to be stuck there. I need to walk forward. So if there's somebody that like in front of me that will not start walking,
I hate when people stand on the escalator and they just stand there.
Oh, I don't like that either.
I'd rather just keep moving. Plus, it makes me feel like I walk fast.
The only time that I feel like it is acceptable is like those Circle Center ones, because like once I'm on there, I don't want to move until it's done.
I get that.
That's why I like ninja grip the rails and just stand there until it's over. I don't like that at all. Though, speaking of escalators and things that make you feel like you walk fast, I love the flat ones at the airport that you can go flying down.
Yes.
I enjoy those. Those are always a lot of fun to walk on.
I was scrolling through the Facebook videos and I saw this one. It was this lady. She was walking on it, but it was going the opposite way. And everyone was just staring at her. It was so weird.
Why was she doing that?
I don't know. I don't know her.
It never came out like...
Why? No, it was just a video. They were video recording her walking. It was weird.
That is weird. I don't like that.
Anyway, so
I don't like that at all.
a movie that gave me an irrational fear, because for a while I thought, because like I didn't watch a lot of scary movies growing up, because I don't know why, but like The Mummy, when the scarabs would come out of the ground, I had this fear that scarabs were just going to come out wherever. And so that freaked me out. And then I saw this really bad like sci-fi like B movie about giant mosquitoes.
Now the mosquitoes are a little more understandable in my head. The scarabs coming out of the ground.
I realize this, but
it definitely seems irrational. That one, like I can't even
just
justify
imagine me just laying in bed, and next thing I know, they just come out from under the bed and get me. For the longest time, I thought they could come out anywhere.
And then what was it? The fog? Was that what freaked you out about the giant mosquitoes?
No, it was this bad B movie on the Sci-Fi Channel. I watched it at my grandparents'. It was these giant mosquitoes that would come flying through, and then there's these people like at a campground camping, and the mosquitoes just sucked all their blood. And so they were, it was weird. It was a bad B movie. It was like giant mosquito. I don't even remember what it's called.
You should get the name of it and we should watch it. Just so that we can
reminisce.
Yes.
Well, it doesn't freak me out now, but for the longest time I thought giant mosquitoes were going to come out and get me too.
No, you're fine. That's only in Australia. Where they have like the giant spiders and things like that. Have you seen like
the Komodo dragons that can like eat people?
No.
Oh my god, they look freaky.
There's Komodo dragons large enough to eat people now?
Yeah, like I saw one eat a whole goat.
Okay, so I've seen the one where it eats the goat. Another side note.
It's like Jurassic Park.
So late night on TikTok, for some reason, they think that I want to see videos of animals harming each other. And let me just tell you, people
you get off on that, don't you?
No. People are one thing. Like, I don't really care. But animals, I can't stomach it.
This goes back to that whole thing where they were investigating about TikTok being able to steal your information and get into the internet. So you, like that one dude who had a bunch of gay porn on his, you have a bunch of like sadist animal shit.
No.
You are a monster.
Like the first one, when I saw the Komodo dragon with the goat, I was like, oh God, what is going to happen? And I didn't swipe away at first because in my head, I'm thinking...
He got lamb chopped.
In my head, I'm like, maybe something cute's going to happen. Like the lizard takes him in or blah, blah. No, he ate the goat.
Whole.
And the goat is crying. And, I couldn't. But I swiped as soon as I realized what was really going down. I was like, nope.
You watch some creepy porn, man.
Shut up. But then there was this really cute one that I like stayed and watched because I was like, maybe something cute's gonna happen, because this leopard had a baby chimp. And
did he eat him?
No. The leopard actually did try to take care of it, but it died. But at least the leopard didn't eat it. Right. Like she protected him for the night, but without his mother, But I can't watch those sad animal videos.
Then why do they pop up in your feed?
I don't know. I don't know why they pop up. I think I need to just like, as soon as I see an animal, swipe away. It might be because also something that pops up a lot at night for me are like the really cute like dog and cat videos. So maybe they're like, if you like dogs and cats, maybe you'll like this Komodo dragon eating a baby goat. And I'm like, no, thank you.
You saw Jurassic Park, you know how it goes.
This is not my idea of fun, sir. I would like to literally watch anything else. But I love animals more than people.
Well,
and that's just who I am.
Honestly, I'd save an animal over a person any day.
Oh yeah,
because
I remember
they are innocent. They are pure. People are terrible.
That's true. There was one time I was driving home back when I worked at the pharmacy, and I was a little tired, and this little squirrel ran out in the middle of the road, and without thinking, I swerved because I don't want to hit an animal, and I almost hit somebody riding their bike. Like, of course they flipped me off, but then I thought, as I was driving, I was like, you know what? I would have been more okay with hitting the person than I would the animal.
The only animal I wouldn't have a problem hitting are the birds that fly right directly into it.
I agree.
Because they choose their fate.
For a second, I thought that you were going to say possums, and then you and I were going to have a knockout, drag-out brawl because they are so cute.
No, I don't like hitting animals. I will serve. But if the bird is flying at me, then it chose its fate.
You're like me, bird. You're trying to end it all.
Suicide.
But irrational fears. So we have heights, escalators. Ooh, when I was younger, I used to have which I believe I got because my mom would always watch Arachnophobia. I had the fear of spiders. I thought that they were just going to show up and kill and eat me, drink all of my blood. But as I got older, I've kind of lost it.
Like, I don't mess with spiders. I let them stay where they are and let them do their thing.
I will say that, like, so long as they're to a certain size, spiders do not bother me. So once they hit like a certain size, then I'm like out. But
Yeah, like in Australia.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's like where all the giant creepy shit is.
Do you remember when we were younger and our friend Edwards
Had a tarantula.
had the tarantula?
Yeah.
And do you remember what that bitch would do to me?
No.
She would purposely set it up so that which in the end, I will give her props. She is probably why I got over my arachnophobia, because if I was at her house, she would move the tarantula to sit right on the toilet so that like its cage was right there. And they only had one bathroom. So if I needed to go to the bathroom,
You'd have to move the spider.
no, I would have to go in there and make direct eye contact with this spider as I'm peeing, which is probably why now I'm just like, spiders don't really bother me that much.
You're like, I won't mess with you if you don't mess with me.
I don't want to hold you. You don't want to crawl on me. Let's just call it a day. Let's not worry about it. Let's move on. An irrational fear that my husband has that you are well aware of is his fear of clowns,
Yes.
which a lot of people have it, but I don't get it.
I don't either. They don't scare me.
And I know that a lot of like horror things have the clowns, like It, Terrifier, things like that. But like clowns never bothered me.
No.
But I also watched Bozo as a kid.
I don't know. I never really had an issue with clowns.
Well, you watched that creepy girl on Big Comfy Couch. She was kind of a clown.
Kind of.
Clowns don't bother me at all, but something that I've always wanted to do was on Halloween buy one of those creepy clown statues. And if I could get away with it and set it up while he was asleep, I would put it right beside the bed for him to wake up.
That would kill him.
It would kill him, and that's why I never did it. But
Is he scared of mimes? They are kind of like
here's the thing.
cross between clowns.
It's weird. Mimes are fine. It's just clowns. Like when, let's say, the drag queen Crystal Method comes out and she has her makeup on and she kind of looks like a clown. Fine. Jimbo comes out in that creepy white outfit. Fine.
But when Georges comes out with all the killer clowns,
He was not fine. But Jimbo's finale look, where he came out and he had like the clown makeup and everything, like Sideshow Bob but green. He could not.
Really?
He could not look at the screen.
Why?
He can't do clowns. I like to say that he was touched by a clown when he was younger, but he adamantly says that is not true.
Well, yeah, that's what people say when they are sexually abused.
Well, there was one time he went to a haunted house as a kid, and his mom, as sweet as she is, asked the people, she was like, I need you to confirm there are no clowns here, because he was younger.
Yeah.
And she was like, otherwise, like, we can't do it. And they all assured her there were no clowns.
Weren't there?
The last room was all clowns.
What the heck?
And Corey said that he just remembers walking into the room and passing out. And when he woke up, he was on an ambulance.
Oh my God.
So his fear is definitely there. There is no getting rid of it.
We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about more irrational fears.
Don't talk over me.
No.
Anyway, and we are back.
Am I allowed to speak now?
Yes, you may speak. So, what is another irrational fear that you have?
I don't like being underwater. It freaks me out. It's kind of like the claustrophobia thingy.
I could see that.
Because, like, I feel like everything is kind of, like, coming down on me. And I also just don't like water because I have bad ear infections.
I can definitely see why the water thing would be scary for you. You're also not really the best swimmer.
No, I am not.
Bright side, you will float.
For a little while.
We all float down here. You were talking earlier about when it came to it that you have this fear that, like, with everything coming in, that it'll be like the Titanic submarine.
And just like crush you.
I could see that.
Because it happened.
It definitely happened.
If anyone says, hey, do you want to go see this Titanic?
No, thank you.
You say no, especially when the remote control is like for a remote control car.
When they're taking you under the ocean in a soup can.
Exactly.
You want to go see the Titanic in
and it's not even like a cool soup can like the Andy Warhol one.
No, there was only like one window to look out of.
Exactly.
Anyway, we're going to get labeled as terrible people, but that's fine. We know who we are. We're comfortable with that.
I never said I was a saint.
If I want to see the Titanic, I'll just go to the Titanic Museum.
I was going to say I'll watch the movie.
Oh, I hate that movie. I hated Titanic because I thought that it was so stupid. Mm-hmm. And then, like, they vilified that guy for sitting there grabbing a kid and being like, I have a child. He wanted to live.
Exactly. That's what you would do.
Exactly.
I know this.
I'm not staying on that boat. In that instant, I feel like I'm justified. I'll be like, the ship was going down. They said women and children.
You're
and
like,
I thought,
grabbed a poor. I'm coming to save them. And then when you're in the lifeboat, you're like, ew, get away.
Push the kid in the water and be like, I'm good. We can go now.
He's bobbing for apples.
I will say, when we went to Tennessee, we went to the Titanic Museum.
I've never been there.
Oh my gosh. So it was very pretty. They had like an actual recreation of the stairs in the whatever on the boat. But when you enter, all of you get these cards where it's somebody that was actually on there, and then you get to learn if they lived or died at the end. So me and my mother lived. My husband's character died. I don't remember all their stories, but I remembered my mother was like one of the wealthy women. So she got a lifeboat and got out. I was a crew member who first jumped into the water and then got onto a boat after.
Smart, resourceful.
There was a room that you can go in where now we're talking about the Titanic, and that's fine. But you go in and the water is chilled to the temperature of what it was when they were all in the water. And my husband and my mother both put their hands in, and they're like, oh my God, and pulled their hand out real quick. I stuck mine in, and I was like, it's not even that cold. What are you guys complaining about? And Corey was like, really? Leave your hand there. So I left it there for about 2 minutes, and I was like, it's fine. Like, we're good.
I have a serious question, though.
What?
Was there like an interactive room where you could go in and get painted like one of his French girls?
No, Dylan, that was just the movie. That wasn't real life Titanic. Kathy Bates wasn't there.
I mean, she could have been.
Kathy Griffin. Speaking of Kathy Bates and Titanic, Kathy Griffin, Kathy Bates won't speak to because she made a joke about how she knows why the Titanic sank. Kathy Bates was on it.
That's funny.
Like, I don't care who you are. That's a funny joke. It's kind of like Joan Rivers used to tell all those jokes about Elizabeth Taylor being fat. And her favorite one that she would tell people was Elizabeth Taylor's so fat she puts mayonnaise on her aspirins. But my favorite one that she would tell is she was like, I once took Liz Taylor to the SeaWorld and she saw Shamu and she said, does it come with mustard? I loved that one. But I am fat, so I enjoy fat jokes. I don't care if it's skinny broads telling them. If it's a funny fat joke, I'm gonna like it. But Titanic Museum, that was a good time. I lived, so like it's just more proof that evil never dies.
See, like fear-wise, I would be okay on a boat.
I would be okay on a cruise ship.
But they do get a little rocky sometimes.
Well, that's fine. It's just so long as, like, I'd say that I would have this fear that I would hit the iceberg, but they're all gone now. So, like, we don't have to worry about the icebergs.
Thanks, global warming.
They're more like ice cubes now, so, like, we'll be fine.
You can put them in your tea.
Corey, scoop that out.
Oh my God. So what other fears you got?
Oh gosh. I don't really have any other fears that I know of. I know a friend who has a irrational fear of sharks.
Oh.
Which that kind of makes no sense to me because you're not in the ocean ever.
I could see it though, because like Jaws freaked me out even with the bad graphics.
Well, just don't go swimming in the ocean at night.
Right.
And he's not going to jump up and go, and eat you.
Well, he came out and got the people on that banana thingy and ate them. And that was broad daylight. Well, and I know this isn't real. I'm not stupid, but it could happen.
You're the type of person that watches The Meg and thinks, that's a documentary.
No.
Giant shark just attacking people. You're like, oh my God, that happened.
We don't know what's under there. The ocean is so huge.
That is true. And speaking of the ocean and irrational fears, another side of TikTok that I find myself on at night, it's only at night because during the day I get like all the funny like office stuff.
It's because you watch your porn and you're into kinky shit.
Well, speaking of kinky shit, it is like ocean videos where it's like sea monsters caught on camera, and one of them is Cthulhu, and another one is the Kraken. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, that's pretty cool.
It could actually happen.
It could happen, but I know that it's all like photo edited and stuff. Mm-hmm. But like, so what other fear do you have, Dylan?
Bears freak me out a little bit. I don't know why.
And you're not talking about the gay men.
Yeah, not the old, like, muscly, beefy dudes. Actual bears.
I feel like bears would be your type, though.
Wow.
Well, I'm allowed to throw out those suggestions.
They are not, though. I don't know.
At the moment, Dylan's type is a pulse.
Something.
Someone warm.
Oh my God. Not a vampire.
But what if it's Edward Cullen?
No, thank you.
Dylan, do you know what I am? Vampire!
A loser who, like, glitters in the sun.
Mormon vampires.
Oh, shoot.
Could you imagine if we got turned into vampires and we were stuck with, like, our current bodies?
Oh, I'd walk straight into the sun. Straight into the sun.
No matter how hard you worked out, you still get that body. I'd be like, fuck this.
Right? Straight into the sun.
This was supposed to be my one ticket to be fit.
To be pretty.
Now I'm going to be forever fat? No, thank you.
Oh, man.
I think that's really kind of about it for irrational fears because I can't.
COVID kind of messed me up a little bit because I saw a bunch of like the pandemic movies, and so like watching how it goes, it kind of freaked me out a little bit. How everything can get passed around so quickly.
I agree with that, especially because I lost my dad to COVID. I could see why that's an irrational fear. We did try to find him. We just couldn't. It turns out he's at the cemetery. But anyway, I see that. I see why that would be a fear of yours.
Just because I know how dirty people are. And at the time I was working.
And they complained when like the CDC or whatever was like, just wash your hands. They're like, no, thank you.
Wear a mask.
Right.
But
no.
It was back when I was working in retail and it was the grocery store and it was chaos.
Do you know what one of my favorite? I'm sorry. Go ahead and finish.
No, you're fine. I just it just freaked me out, especially because I worked in an inner city location, and
scratching my back.
There's a lot of homeless people out there. And that doesn't help if a zombie apocalypse came.
No,
I'm glad I don't work there anymore. Anyways,
one of my favorite things now that we're talking about the pandemic that came out of that was that not to like get crazy, but all these people who are like, my body, my choice, with the vaccine and the masks, and it's like, well, then aren't we going to use my body, my choice for other issues? No, it's only the vaccine and masks. Like, what the hell?
We don't care about Roe v. Wade. Oh man.
Prom night dumpster baby. I don't really see why the pandemic messed you up and made you scared of that type of stuff.
It made me start sleepwalking again. Like, I woke up, I fell down my stairs once.
Oh, that's hilarious.
But then no, not really. It was not
for you,
great.
but
And then I woke up
me.
one time, I was trying to escape my apartment, but because I live in I have a loft, I was trying to climb over the loft part.
Ah.
Yeah.
So even when you're asleep, you're trying to end it all, it would appear. God, no offense. I don't think I would see you coming out of that alive, Dylan.
I don't think so either. But I don't know. There's a chair below there that I'd fall on. Maybe it'd catch me.
Or it would hit you just right.
Like a glove.
Yeah, okay.
It popped my back a little bit.
Glove the love. So I hope you're not sleepwalking anymore.
I do occasionally, but I haven't climbed over, so I'm good.
Maybe we should get you like an at-home nurse at night to watch you.
I'm good.
I don't want to have to come onto the podcast one day and be like, so Dylan's dead.
No, you have to have like one of those, like, it has to be like an in memoriam, but with Sarah McLachlan singing one of her sad songs.
I can't afford her sad songs.
Well, like, sing your own version.
I'd have to write it too and come up with my own music.
Do you not know how to write?
Not music.
We've been friends for how long, and I'm not even worth anything to you?
Not really.
It's okay, I wouldn't do it for you either.
Exactly. Bitch, I would struggle to get you to even write me an in memoriam for my funeral. So I think that's about it for Irrational Fears. So we will take a quick break, and then we will come back with final thoughts for the week, and we will be right back.
Sounds good. Okay.
Viewers, I just want you all to know that Dylan just proved his point that
Easter is in March sometimes. Not all the time, but the last time in 2008.
He Googled it and read off every date that it has fallen into March because he is Petty LaBelle. Anyway,
You would do the same thing.
I would wait till you were home to text you the link. Anyways, we are back with final thoughts. So, go ahead.
I was going to say one more final, like, irrational fear.
Okay.
The Furbies.
Oh my God.
They creeped me out.
When I was younger, my Furby would talk in the middle of the night and it freaked me out, so I took the batteries out.
Did it still talk?
No, thank God. It did not talk anymore. I know that they're coming back out, or they are back out, but they're still creepy.
They are.
They are the creepiest toy. And let me tell you, I had a fear of them until I think it was Weird Al made that fake Furby prank phone call where he's like, the Furby's killing me. And then that's when I was like, this is irrational. Like,
This is stupid. Yeah, I get
it's just
it.
a stupid toy. Who cares? Any other irrational fears that you want to bring up?
That was the last one because it freaked me out.
I was just thinking that for a possible podcast episode, are you on Nextdoor?
No.
I want you to get a Nextdoor app and like register on it.
What is that?
It's people around your neighborhood and like they're complaining and stuff.
Oh.
And posting things about the neighborhood. I have one. I want us to pay attention to it and just come in with like the most ridiculous things that people are reporting.
Okay.
I think that would be fun. I've seen other podcasts do that. I think it would be fun to read some crazy Reddit stories.
Okay.
Be more prepared than we were last time.
Okay, that sounds good.
I wanted to do a topic that was called Crazy Things Jesus Has Told Me, and I had hoped that it would be funny. However, when I was researching it, most of the stories were all just like the serial killer said Jesus told him, and I was like, well, that's not funny. The only funny one that I found was the guy, I don't know where he was from, but he said that Jesus told him to steal $1.3 million to renovate his house because Jesus wanted him to have a pool. And I was like, that's a bit ridiculous. Another one that
maybe Jesus did want him to have a pool. We don't know.
But you can get a pool for cheaper than $1.3 million.
Not a good pool.
Shut up,
You need
Dylan.
a good pool.
Are there any topics that you are thinking that we should do?
I'm not sure. How about the folks who listen, comment and let us know what you think. If there's something you want us to talk about, we can.
I'll talk about anything. I will learn.
Stephen is thirsty.
I am thirsty, but not for dick. I'm thirsty for viewers. Feel free, like,
subscribe,
comment, let us know what you like, what you hate. If you don't like Dylan, if you don't like me,
we can fire one of us.
We can get rid of one of us and replace us with someone. Dylan knows some homeless people.
You get a Raggedy Ann doll. You just sit here talking to a Raggedy Ann doll.
And act like she's responding.
Yes.
Oh my God, you're so funny.
Oh God.
That sounds like a great TikTok thing. I might do that. That's a good idea. Follow us on TikTok, Humble Narcissists. Maybe I'll put out me talking to Raggedy Ann. We will see you next week. Have a good week, everybody.
Yes, see ya.